And they had this something that got Lady Gaga's attention, so much to the point I think Lady Gaga ended up wanting to work with them, but they turned her down for whatever reason, I don't know. So I'm like that too. Play and Black Classic, I probably heard it, but don't ask me to name that artist. Exactly. Please don't ask me to name that artist because I won't win you guys the grand prize. So her dress is pretty neat because the colors are quite obvious, meaning like with Sabrina's, she was just one color with her dress, you know? But even though her dress was all one color, it was still pretty. And right now, her dress is still my favorite because it exudes everything that goes into the theme of what Met Gala was asking of the celebrities and the regular people who wanted to go to bring. Fashion is art. The red carpet did not disappoint. According to Harper's Bazaar, the new exhibit, Costume Art, has a primary focus on the way art interacts with the body and vice versa. So it's no surprise that many guests opted for sculptural looks built around corsets with plenty of cutout detail and form-fitting gowns on shows. I like her dress because once again it's popping with color. The color isn't so bright and obnoxious either. It blends in really well and it looks like yellow Superman ice cream. Superman ice cream used to be my favorite ice cream, my cool peeps, but it seems like along the way during the years they've changed the flavors. Emma's dress was inspired by a painting. Yes, because when I was looking her up last night while I was bracing for impact for the storm, I saw pictures of Picasso, I believe. There was a picture next to her. And I'm thinking it was the Picasso artwork where the nightmare one or something. Picasso's nightmare photo or what have you. Wow, I think it had actual paint on it, if I remember. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to step aside so I can see it. So I like her dress because it sparks childhood memories for me for Superman ice cream. And you know what? I like the sheer that they use. So I'm glad that this young woman provided a better detail for me to express myself. I'm going back to Tyla's dress. You know how her boobs were like basically exposed? So you see how her dress is looking like she is really sheer and is keeping her modest all the way down to there, you know? That's the type of material that I was talking about. I would feel comfortable wearing. I would feel more comfortable having on if I were to wear the Tyler's dress if I were performing on Broadway to cover that up more. But once again, I'm not wearing that specific dress. But if that was the dress selected for me, I would have to use my voice in that moment and say, can we use this type of material so we can cover that up more? Because I believe if that was done on Tyler's dress, I would have liked her dress even more. But what sold me on the presentation of Tyler is the fact that she reminds me of Princess Jasmine because the color choice and all the bejewels and the shapes and stuff, it reminds me of something from that time from Aladdin. That's why she's still in the running. I'll give her a B, on the grading scale, a solid B simply because of that. Once again, keeping in mind, my cool peeps, this is fashion is art. So I cannot mix personal feelings with it upon criticizing, but I would give her a solid B for that. And if I was a person in a position of power, I would definitely want to get with her people and see if we can make something work for Tyler to play Princess Jasmine somewhere on Broadway because she gives that. I think it had actual paint on it. You know what? While we're here, I want to look and see. Because if her dress actually had actual paint on it, she gets an A plus too, simply because she exuded all the artsy fartsy bullet points that Harper's Bazaar, well, yeah, Harper's Bazaar said that. What Harper's Bazaar said, that's what Met Gala wanted. Ahem. I'm having difficulty formulating my words, ladies and gentlemen. So, her name, this is Emma Chamberlain, my cool piece. This is Emma. Did Emma Chamberlain use, or should I say have paint on her dress? Question mark. I'm so happy that I waited for today, Freestyle Thursdays, to talk about fashions because I have more time. And then yesterday I used my time to also screenshot as many pictures as I could with a allotted time that I had. So I'm putting cameras in the chat because I'm pretending I'm paparazzi and I'm taking pictures and pretending I'm showing you all what I got. In my mind, I'm like, I went to the Met Gala, guys, and these are the pictures that I took. Ahem. Applause, applause. The bottom is intense. I love it. I don't care. I love it. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it? It looked like they just pulled her out of a tie-dye bucket and told her to just, here, keep this dress on, and we'll go over the dress, the train of your dress with some hair dryers because we want to give it that almost wet, almost dry feel. I wonder if that happened. So to answer your question, yes, Emma Chamberlain wore a custom muggler gown to the 2026 Met Gala. It might be Mugler. Y'all, hey, if you cannot pronounce it, you cannot afford it. So you already know where my price bracket is. If you cannot pronounce it, you don't need to buy it. So I'm probably saying it wrong. Once again, yes, Emma Chamberlain wore a custom Mugler gown to the 2026 Met Gala that was intentionally covered in thick, hand-painted strokes to resemble a living canvas. Yes. Now this is fashion. Dun, dun. What have you done? Dun, dun. So this is fashion. Dun. For the old and the young. Sing with me, my people. And so this is fashion. Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, girl. So far we've got Emma and Sabrina. They get the A+ rating for exuding fashion and art and not messing up the mission. They did a wonderful job. So once again, the Met Gala, it was intentionally covered in thick painted strokes to resemble a living canvas. The gown, designed by Miguel Castro Freitas and painted by Anna Delarue, took 40 hours to paint with 30 base colors and 4 days to dry, featuring swirling blue, yellow, and white notes with the WWD article. Design and inspiration. The gown was inspired by Van Gogh's Wheat Fields with Crows, my cool peeps. And so this is fashion. Exactly. Now, wouldn't that be cool if Meryl Streep sang that song in The Devil Wears Prada? I will probably start coughing all over the place because I'm stuffing food, popcorn, and sodas in my mouth. And if she broke out singing that, I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I know that was going to happen? This is fun. Wow. Lee, did I cover all of your faves? I have here my favorites for Emma Chamberlain, Jisoo, Tyler, and Sabrina Carpenter. So I definitely wanted to lead with your favorites. And once again, thank you so much for your comments yesterday. And I'm glad I was up to be able to see them.